What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone. The day after, not a crisis, a positive day, night. Apparently, a lot of positive things to get out of that game, and we should be basically back. If you need to, read between the lines, but I think the reality is something different. We're gonna talk about the game. Obviously, not winning 7 games, not winning 1 games out of the last 7, but apparently it's still not a crisis. Also, it's the points, the couple of points that we have missed out on. That's the issue, and not the performances. How worrying is that's coming from the top? Chiellini, that Gatti's repeating that Tudor is repeating that as well. And then obviously we will look ahead to Sunday. But first off, how are you guys doing today?
Hey guys, I'm a little tired, but all good. Other than that, I can't wait to talk about this game because I'm kind of fed up of the Juventus community, how they think it's okay. But yeah, let's talk about it.
Well, I'm good. I've been waiting for this live since the game of Como, so I'm happy that we are here today.
The Como game. We want to talk about that again, but let's talk about the Real Madrid game yesterday. 1-0 loss. I think a lot of people expected worse. I think we can all admit that. We have 2 points out of 9 in the Champions League, so that puts us in a very difficult situation, to be honest. We had a game plan to go to Real Madrid, and that game plan could have worked, but that's not a game plan, in my opinion, to say, okay, we can build on that, because we're all assuming that's not the game plan we're going to implement when we play Lazio away or any other team in the league, or even in the Champions League at home. So that's why I'm a bit, confused with the general feeling after that game, where it's like a lot of positives, etc. We're gonna need to play different type of games starting Sunday, and I've not learned anything other than we can stay focused up to a certain point, and where it stops is in front of goal, for example, and that's why we're not winning games. So, Norbert, you had something to say. What do you think about the game, the result, the performance in general?
So I predicted 1-4, so Real Madrid victory 4-1, I think, and it could have been 3 to Real Madrid, to be honest. We had a ton of space, to be honest, but in those spaces there was Kalulu and there was McKennie most of the time, and that's not good, because we saw it's not good. And also I didn't really understand why did Vlahovic start, but that's like another big issue, to be honest. And this team just can't win. And we can talk about Tudor, we can talk about all these things, but I feel like the player is just not good enough. They were not good enough with Motta, and they're still not good enough for playing for the biggest team in Italy. And I feel like they are just losers, to be honest. I don't think they are mentally right. They were never right, to be honest. And that was a luck that we beat Inter, and this team just cannot win, and it's super sad. And I didn't see anything that is positive yesterday. Okay, we can talk about positives, like we didn't lose 3-4 goals, but I don't care. We lost. We lose 1 goal, we lose 3-4 goals. I don't care. We just lost. Yeah, and I don't see us winning against Lazio. And even if it's not 100% on Tudor, his subs and decisions sometimes is truly horrible, and he needs to go. I don't think much will change even with a different coach because these players are horrible. But maybe with a different coach, something can be changed. And it's so sad that we are doing these coach carousels for for so long, and we can just never have a coach long term because of reasons, management or players or yeah. I think. Yeah, dark days, and I hate it. And yeah, I don't think we will win this weekend, and Tudor can go. I think you're on mute. Oh, he's on the phone. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was on the phone. Same question for you, Imran. What do you made of that game? You know, the performance, the like the result. Do you think there are positives we can build on?
Well, I think that the rule at Juventus is you never speak about the performance or you never appreciate the performance if you're losing. And yesterday, some people they would say we played a good game. We can build on for the next few months, but at the end you lost. And we all know that Madrid in the group stages they are bad every single year. It's been their history. In the group stage they are bad, but when they go to the knockout stages, Madrid will change. So I think that yeah, we missed a big chance to win in the Bernabeu yesterday, but for me, it's not a performance that we can build on because the way you will play and the way you will prepare the game of Madrid is not the way that you will prepare the game of Como, a game of Verona, a game of Lecce. There is really a big difference. So I'm not saying that we will build on that, but these players they showed that when they want to they can do it, but the problem is like how can you make them wanting to do it like every single week? This is the big mystery of this Juventus. If you can make these players play like that, or at least show a bit of what they showed in the Bernabeu, at least in terms of like fighting, having full attention and playing. If you play it like that against Como, there is no way you lose. And the same you can say it for Verona, for Atalanta, for against Milan. But this is the problem of this Juventus, and not only the players, the coach, the management. When there is a big game, when the world is watching you, you can feel that they are working, they want to show something. But when you play against the low sides, we don't really care. Like we are playing like we are winning 3-0, and at the end you get another embarrassment. So it's not only about the players, but it's even for the managers of Juve to blame because after the game of Como, with they did meetings, they were speaking in between the players and the coach, and you can feel that there is the attention that they want to work, they want to show the world something. I'm just imagining if what you did after the game of Como, if you did it before the game, I think the result would have been different. So we need to change our mentality at Juventus if we want to win again.
I mean, for me, and it sounds crazy, but it's easier to just sit back deep and work hard and try to be focused than try to how do you say, like, make the play. You try to conduct the game, etc. It's much easier, especially for this team, because we cannot control a game in terms of we have the possession and we're going to dominate, etc. So in that regard, it's an easier game to stay focused, etc. Against Lazio, you cannot play like this, because at the end of the day, you need to win games in Serie A. And I quote as I think Tudor said, it's not because we're Juve, we just need to win games. Well, it is. Like, that's the expectations. I'm not sure where these quotes are coming from. That's the expectation when you're coaching Juve, when you're playing for Juve. So all these things, are very bad signs. Yesterday, we missed an opportunity. And when I say missed, we could have lost. We could have conceded a couple. But so good Real Madrid. It was one of those games. And in the Champions League, I don't expect us to not give up chances, etc. We had the chances yesterday, but then the same issues came across. We cannot finish. We haven't scored a goal for over a month right now. We struggle to finish chances. That's just what it is. Or we make very poor decisions in the final third. Where there are much easier opportunities to take, and we make it very complicated for ourselves. And then we're in a situation where you concede and it's back to square one again. That's kind of the story of our season lately. But yeah, positives, I don't know, like, do I need to be positive that they worked hard? You know what, it's I've seen this many times and I've heard this many times, because Giorgio said post game, yeah, this is something we need to build on, the spirit, etc. How many times have we been in this situation last season, the season before that, when we had a bad period and then somehow we had a good performance, even though we lost, and the quotes were, we need to learn from this. We're not learning from this. We've seen it, So that's why I cannot be happy about the performance. At the end of the day, we won 0 games in 7. There's nothing to be happy about. Like, that's the reality of the matter. No wins in 7 games. We equaled Ranieri's team, and that was a horrible team, by the way. We equaled that negative record. We can beat that record on Sunday, by the way. So to come out of that and be positive, I don't care what Netfed has to say, because he's not at the club anymore, and he's gonna be nice because Tudor, etc. I don't care. We all have eyes. We've seen it. And there is no proof out there that these guys will go to Lazio and play another focus game and will click, etc. There's no proof out there. So until I've seen that, I cannot, take anything positive really out of this. I've seen it. I've seen this and then go bad again really quickly. That is the only thing I've seen from this group, So if I need to go on past, results, I need to tell you it's gonna be a big flop on Sunday, basically. And the game against Real Madrid means nothing. How many teams play well in Europe, then go in the league and are bad again? It happens. It's a different vibe, And I'm not saying it's easier against Real Madrid, but it's a different feeling. You're at the Bernabeu. It's a bit more focused. And to be honest, Marseille gave them a game, and actually they should have won for or not lose, if not for a ridiculous span in the end. So yeah, I know. I like Norbert said at the beginning of the stream. We showed some good things. That, like, on the ball, in possession. But it always stops at the same point. So at this stage, I'm like, we're just not learning. We're not really improving. So I mean, positive? No. I cannot be positive. We haven't won in 7 games, so I think it's ridiculous to be positive. You can say I've seen something better compared to the previous games, but the better is just the bare minimum. It's the focus, is the fight, is the desire to keep going. Like, those things shouldn't be praised, in my opinion. That should be like default for a club like Juve. That should be like, yeah, like that's the standard. We need to talk about how it's on the pitch, etc. So I don't know. I think people are more clouded by the fact that we didn't get hammered. I think and we had some chances and some opportunities. I think that's where people more are looking at. But big picture, I don't see a change just because of that performance. That's just how I'm looking at it personally. So yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing,
and we would play the same. Like, we would play bad against small teams after a performance like that, or we will play bad against Lazio as well this weekend. So
next question. Is this a crisis? Because Chiellini pre-game said this is not a crisis. People are exaggerating a little bit because we dropped a couple of more points than we wanted. That's it. But it's not a crisis. People are pushing it. But at the end of the day, we haven't won in 7. That's the reality. When you add Tudor on it the fact that Tudor was speaking about, we're unlucky with the refs. If we played Cremonese, which is wild, by the way, that he said if we play Cremonese instead of Milan, we will be first. You still need to play Cremonese. It's like it's a ridiculous statement to make, by the way. Like I couldn't believe he said that. Like he actually said. So now he basically guaranteed a win against Cremonese. That's what he did. Like it's actually a ridiculous statement to make, by the way. So that's what he said. Chiellini said, it's not a crisis. And then also post game, they're talking about, or Tudor pre-game is talking about formation, etc. It's about individuals, and Gatti post game is saying it's about points, performance or not. We need to get the points, and I'm like, no, you need the performance. Otherwise, you're building absolutely nothing sustainable. Because we got points in the past and then it all collapsed. So the question is simple, Norbert. Is this why is this not a crisis apparently?
I cannot think of a reason why is it not a crisis. Last time we won, it was middle of September. I think the 14th of September. That was over a month ago. 7 games is a lot. It is a crisis, and this needs to change. Otherwise, we will not make top 4. We will, which is crazy that that a big club like us has to fight for top 4, because we're gonna fight for top 4 and not more this year, unfortunately. And Champions League, I don't know what's gonna happen. We need to travel to Brøndby. I don't know how we're gonna get a point there, to be honest.
Boroglem, not Brøndby.
Oh yeah, similar.
I think we have Sporting at home first. I think, right?
Yeah. I just can't see. But again, now if we fire Tudor, then it's a new coach again, and then he will hate the players as well, and it will. I don't know how it will get resolved. But something needs to change, and Tudor is incapable of changing it.
What do you think, Imran? Is this a crisis or not? Apparently not, but what do you think?
Yes, of course. 7 games without a win is a crisis at Juve. Like only 2 games is already a crisis. I remember sometimes you draw 2 games, and we were speaking about crisis, and the media was already quoting on their pages that Juve is in a big crisis. And so 7 games is already a big of a deal. But the words of Chiellini are the words of a manager that is not really that doesn't have that margin of taking decisions today at Juve. So he doesn't want to go with those bold statements to saying, "Oh, we are in crisis," because Comoli is the one that needs to say that, not Chiellini today. So he doesn't want to go with a really a big statement. But I'm sure that Chiellini is the first one that knows that this is really a big crisis. Not winning for 7 games is a lot for Juve. Chiellini is someone that was used to winning, and he left a lot of titles. So I think that's only as the speech of a manager, not the speech of the real Chiellini. And then is Tudor able to change this situation or not? Well, I think that if we will blame only Tudor for these bad games, then we are exaggerating a lot. Because as he said yesterday, the game of football is not only about tactics; it's even about the players and how intelligent they are in the games. Because yesterday, if you scored the chances, then it would have been a different game. And I'm sure that today the media, like all the papers, they would have been speaking about a top masterclass from Tudor. If Openda is just waiting and dribbling the defender of Madrid and putting that in the back of the net, it would have been a different story if Vlahovic scored. So yeah, Tudor is right when he said that the game of football is more about tactics, and it's linked to the players, how intelligent they are, how they react in the big moments of the game. So we need to blame the players as well, because they don't give 100%. And if they do, then it's only in the big games where the world is watching, like against Inter, Dortmund, and in these big games. But if you want to judge this Juventus, you must do it when you play Como, when you play Lecce, because in the last years, this is the big problem of this Juve is the games against the low side, and even the management. I think that they have a really a big part. They play a really a big part in this crisis because maybe they don't speak enough, or maybe they are speaking like after taking the first slap. Like they need to react before that. So yeah, that's my point of view.
Um, by the way, people, hit the like button. Also, we hit 12K subscribers, so thanks everybody who subscribed. That's big for the channel. But I agree. I think the standard has dropped so much, and the level has so much has been lowered so much that where we reach a stage where fans are happy with the bare minimum. They're just happy to not lose big against Real Madrid, But that's not the that shouldn't be the mindset, The mindset, because yesterday we lost, and the outrage should be much bigger than what it was, in my opinion. But it felt like we didn't lose that game. If we didn't, like, let's say we lost that game, but in the league, let's say the previous 6 games we drew 2, but we won 4 of them, and we lost yesterday. That would be a different feeling, And we lost the way we lost. You were like, okay, the performance wasn't that bad, I guess, and we lost the game, the first one of the season. But that's not the case. You need to look at the big picture. That's why when when Gatti and Tudor talk about, the performances, it's about points, points, points. Yeah, in the end, it's about points, But this team is not picking up enough points throughout the season. It's just not going to happen, You need a performance. At what point? Because if you want to build something, and they're talking about building something sustainable, you're going to need performances to do that. You're not going to build a new dynasty just based on points. When we were dominating, we had good performances. That's where because that's why we were dominating. Excuse me, not just because we picked up points, but because we were that good. It was not every week we just are like, it's the points and we leave. No, we actually dominated games from start to finish for 9 years almost. And that was the reason that we picked up points. So even that mindset, I think, is weird. It's strange. I don't understand it. Like, maybe it's just me, but I'm listening to it. I'm looking at it, and it's very confusing as well. Like, I don't get why that mindset is at the club right now, where it feels like I don't know. Like, it feels like it doesn't really bother them as much as it should, if that makes any sense. They don't come across like it's really a bad moment, because if you don't win in 7 games, you need to be pissed in front of the camera. But they come up in front of the camera and they're very calm, in my opinion. Like Tudor said, it's looking actually good. You need to give this team time and etc. But it's like Thierry Henry said. At the end of the day, you can build something, but it's still you're a Juve, and if you're not winning for so long, for so many weeks, months, that it's an issue. Building or not building, it's a massive issue. So I don't know. Like, maybe it's just me. But why would we be happy with a small loss? That is problem. Why happy in the first place for loss? The fans are going in a game with the mindset, okay, just not look big. Why that mindset in the first place? Yeah, I mean, I don't like that mindset. I don't like Norbert said at the beginning, if you lose 5-0 or 1-0, you lost that game yesterday again. You lost that game. The only way I'm looking at a 1-0 loss and being okay is if we were in the quarterfinals with the old rules and the goal difference, away goal and etc. And it's like, oh my God, this is cool. That's the only way you can somehow look at it. But now in this situation, no, a loss is a loss. If we lose against Lazio 1-0 or 10-0, it would have been 8 games without a win. either way, like either way. And that's the only thing that matters, in my opinion, right now. Yes, the performance, it does, but that goes hand in hand because you can scam a win at any given time. It can happen. But that scammy win is not going to make you scam another win the following week, if that makes sense. Because the following week, if that performance is not again poor, you're just not going to scam your way to a win, and you're going to lose that game as you should, basically. And if not that week, it's the following week. It's coming back to bite you in you know what. So, what did I learn yesterday? Nothing really. And even when people praise the fight, that's even worrying. So why fight now? Why not against Como? Like, what's the problem? Because it's at the Bernabeu, big stage, everybody's watching. Now you want to turn up? Like, that's how I'm looking at it, rather than, oh my god, I need to see it before I can believe it again. That's my thing. The mindset has been that if they run a lot, that's good enough. Quality is not important, apparently. Even if we won against Como, I would still be pissed because we play like shit. Yeah, I mean, if you want to build something sustainable, I agree. I agree. It's been too long right now that we have not been good result-wise and on the pitch. And even when we were picking up results and everybody was like, oh, we're picking up results, it ended up in nothing. No shock, because at the end of the day, if the performances are not good enough, you're not gonna win games sustainably week in, week out. It's impossible. It's impossible. Let me try to bring Norbert back.
Yeah, it's my cam again. I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. We talked about that. Next thing I want to ask you guys is Locatelli's situation, because apparently there is an issue between him and Tudor. The issue resulted in us needing to watch quote minus McKennie for almost the entirety of the game, which is absolutely madness to me. Because the difference when Locatelli came in and the way we tried to play, and people might say, oh, the game was open because, we were chasing it. The game was always open because the way Real Madrid played, even in the first half, when we had those 50 minutes, it was open. That's how Real Madrid play. It had nothing to do with the result. But the difference was, well, noticeable. So they have a bust, they have an issue. It's not helping Tudor, it's not helping Locatelli, and in the end, it's not helping us at all. So what is your take on that, Imran? Like, I don't know what the disagreement is. Nobody knows, but apparently there is a disagreement, and that's why he got benched. Even though they tried to downplay it, that's why the decision was made. So what do you think?
Yes, of course, there is a problem between Locatelli and Tudor, and not even Locatelli. I think even Zegrova, there is something. Like, I feel like many players, they have some problems with the coach, because sometimes, and even Cambiaso, I think sometimes is not caused by the player himself. Sometimes it's the entourage of the player that is causing problems. Like in the case of Cambiaso, it's about the agent, and same for Zegorova when they are speaking about he can play 90 minutes and that stuff. And for Locatelli being the captain, yeah, usually you need to avoid these kind of problems, because at the end you are the captain and you are the one that needs to show example for the players. And in a Juventus that lacks leadership, you are the one that needs to give them that leadership, to be the leader in the locker room. And Locatelli is already 26 years old, and like he's the captain, so you can't really have these problems. Like before a game of Madrid, you're posting things in Instagram showing the captaincy band. So I think that like you can't have that at Juve today, in a Juve that's really not at the best. We lack on qualities, performance are really bad, and then you add these kind of problems. We need to fix this. Like the management, they need to fix this problem, because when you have a team that lacks leadership, and even the players that you have in, they can't give you that leadership, then it's, for me, it's about the management. They need to be the leaders of this group. How can they do it? Well, before the game, you need to make a meeting with the players before every single game, make them understand where they are and the importance of every single game. Because from what I see, these players they don't know. They don't have leaders. They don't understand this. So the management they need to lead this team. Make a meeting before every game. Tell them how important the game is. They need to do this, and then at, you are doing your the thing that you are supposed to do. But knowing that the team doesn't have leadership, knowing that you can't go in the market and buy like good players, I think that you need to start doing these kind of meetings, and maybe it will fix the problem, and maybe not.
Yeah, we are
I
crying
mean,
about crying. I am.
oh no, you're back. You're back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we I said like we are crying about the management for a long time now, but I think rightfully so. Um, at the end, I didn't like Agnelli. Just before he left, he did some questionable things, but he was there. He was always there around the team. He was always talking to coaches, other managers. He was always there, and I feel like that's really missing from this club. And yeah, as Imran said, everything starts from the head, and I feel like the management is just not good. Um, and these changes that are happening now with the Comoli and Chiellini and all that is still really early in the process, and they don't. I don't think they know exactly what to do or how to do things. Because we had Mr. Ferrero and the other dude way too long at the top, I think. And yeah, we need something. We need a different president, to be honest. Like Erkan, I can't stand Erkan. He's ruining Ferrari. He's ruining Juve. He's just not a talented person when it comes to being a good president, I feel. So yeah, something needs to change up top. Changing coaches not really change anything, and we don't have money to buy good players. So yeah.
I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't know what transpired pre Como, after Como, during Como. I have no idea. The only thing, it might be probably something about the way we play or what he's asked to do. I'm not so sure about that, and in which capacity that happened, I'm also not sure about. How they spoke to each other. Locatelli doesn't strike me as a guy who tries to, or who tells Tudor off or something. So, or the story is complete bullshit, or Tudor is in a situation where he doesn't want to hear anything, any complaints, etc. But if something happened and Locatelli exaggerated, then I get it. If not, you're trying to kill off your own team at this moment in time, because even though people say, "Oh, but that midfield worked," did it? Did it really? Like, I think Locatelli would have worked much better. No, it would, and maybe we would have scored earlier on, because with the space there was, Colt Miners was not doing it. McKennie was not doing it, and Turam. I mean, I like Turam, but he's gonna need to learn to do some things much better in the final third. Also, he was playing more behind Yildiz yesterday, which I'm also not a big fan of. I rather have him maybe play as an 8, whatever, or drive through the middle rather than on the sideline. But that's a different discussion. But the difference when he came in, even for 50 minutes, is noticeable. It's just noticeable. And I don't know about the post. Apparently, he does that every single game. People know what I think about the group, and the social media posts and the cryptic messages and etc. I've spoke about it 100 times. These players have not won anything with the club. They think they can get away with anything because they're allowed to get away with anything. That's it. When Mota got sacked, I said it. Nothing to do with Motta as a coach. This could have been, I don't know, like insert any random name at that time that got sacked. I'm like, these guys cannot be trusted. They cannot be trusted. And here we are again talking about the same things. And it's not years gone by, it's months gone by. Not even half a year, maybe half a year. To me, crazy. That this happened. If he's benched against Lazio, then what are we actually doing over here? Like, what is actually the point? Like, real question. Because you're just trying to sabotage your own season that's already derailed at this moment in time. So it's probably not going to be the last one, but it is shocking that it happens before that massive game. Nothing else to add with that one other than you would have played a much better game with Locatelli on the pitch. And I'm not even the biggest Locatelli fan, but the difference with other players out there is, in my opinion, massive. It is massive. Again, yesterday debate about Locatelli. He doesn't play through balls. You need to look which position he plays. That's one, and what he's asked to do. Two. But I've seen other players playing much higher on the pitch also not doing that. One, because they are incapable of playing that position, play that ball technically. And two, they just avoid taking any risks, trying to keep it simple, and keeping it simple, well, it's just not helping anyone, And I can name the names, but people know these players. And then you come out of that game, and it's like, they didn't make a mistake. Yeah, but they also added squad. That's their whole personality, basically. McKennie trying to keep it safe. He doesn't make mistakes. What's the point? If he doesn't take any risk on the ball, what is actually the point of being out there? So I hope it gets fixed, whatever the issue is, because it's not that Locatelli, in my opinion, is a world-class player, but compared to what we have, he needs to be out there. He needs to be out there. That's just my opinion. To be a captain, it needs to be a player with morale and a winner. I still think we should have had Dybala on a lower wage in the current team. No one is a winner. Kalulu on the right was bad. Why not Joao Mario? We would have scored in the first half. The right was clear. I thought Kalulu was okay defensively, but going forward, like, I cannot blame him. I'm sorry. I cannot blame. I saw people go losing their mind on Kalulu. I don't expect Kalulu. I don't expect Kalulu to pick up the right guy in the final third. I'm sorry. I don't. To put in a fantastic cross, to get a clean shot on target. I don't expect Kalulu to do these things. I'm sorry. Like, I'm absolutely, like, he puts that in the situation. And yesterday, the first half, everybody remembers, like, how many times did he? And at one point, Real Madrid was like, have a go. Like, just go. Because we know how this is going to end. And I just tweeted, if that was Zigrova or Conceição with the space they got, we could have been up. And people are like, but they don't defend like Kalulu. I'm like, I'm not saying, they should have started. I'm just saying, in the final third, I don't expect that from Kalulu. So people go mad about that part. But yeah, I mean, it's pointless. I would be surprised if coaches from other teams don't say, don't be scared, this is no Juve before they play us. They do say that. They definitely say that. Like, they definitely say that, So that's that. But yeah, now comes the next question. The subs, again, like the Joao Mario issue, again, like the subs, they don't feel, they're late. That's one. They're very late, in my opinion. And I never get the vibe that we are going out there to win that game for some reason. I don't get that vibe with the subs. Yildiz, maybe he had a knock. He looks tired. He looks a bit, niggle. Like, he doesn't look as fit as it should be looking. So maybe fine. At that point, I get it, maybe. But, like, playing that long with Kalulu when you could have been, you know what, we're down. I'm just going to put in Joao Mario, Rugani come on the bench, or Gatti come on the bench, Kalulu slot in at the back, and Joao Mario, you have a go. Take some risk. It's 1-0. What do we have to lose? But he doesn't take those risks. He puts in Joao Mario in. Like, actually, at this stage, if I'm Joao Mario, I'm like, I'm not coming on anymore. Like, what are we actually doing over here? Like, he doesn't even need to take a shower after the game with these cameos. Like, like you cannot expect a player in that position to have an impact with that limited playing time. It feels impossible to me. So, Norbert, you touched on it already. Why does he make those subs, in my opinion, late every single time? Even when games are, you can feel they're lost if you don't do anything.
He's stubborn. He trusts the starting 11 that he sent out, and I feel like he's another stubborn coach, and I hate the most of most of these stubborn coaches. I think they are the worst. Yeah, like come on, after seeing watching that first half and seeing how much space Kalulu had on the right, and knowing how he's not an attacking player and not changing him with whoever you want, Joao Mario or switching Cambias over there. But yeah, Joao Mario would have been the obvious choice. It's a huge mistake. I don't understand, and letting it, even in the second half, letting it play out so much without a sub was also insane. But we knew this. We saw enough Tudor that we know that he can't make good subs here and there. Sometimes he got lucky, but that's long term. That's not going to happen too many times. So yeah, I have no idea why is he waiting so long with the subs. Again, he's stubborn and he believes his own choice about the first 11. Yeah, I have no good answer. That's all. And I think Yildiz is tired. So yeah.
He looks tired. What do you think, Imran?
Yes, I don't want to be the one like defending Tudor, but if you look in the subs that he did, like he puts in Openda, David, and they had the chance to score and they missed. He puts in Conceição, and maybe we are not talking about enough about Conceição, but like what was the performance against Madrid? I really don't understand. He played like I what was that? I don't understand the way he played. He was taking the ball from the back and he was looking to pass again for the defenders instead of carrying the ball, finding someone up front. He was looking for Kelly and for Di Gregorio to give them the ball back. Like it was a really strange play from Conceição. So if you want to judge Tudor, I think at the same time we need to understand that what the subs that he did didn't really work out. And is it really because of Tudor or is it because of the players? Because Openda is missing, Conceição is not in his game. Locatelli he played a good 15 minutes. So I don't know if we really need to blame Tudor. And then playing Kalulu, it's not that at the end Kalulu is doing a good game. Yes, offensively he wasn't good, but that's not Kalulu. He's a defender. You can't ask him to score and to contribute to goals. But I think that you need to count that for Tudor, like playing Kalulu there as a right wing back or as a right back, and at the end he's having chances to score. So it needs to be counted for Tudor that played a right back, and at the end that right back is having chances and he's there up front trying to score. So I don't want to be defending Tudor too much, but at the same time, I think that we need to judge the players because sometimes they are really the big problem. Because as I said, if yesterday they scored the chances that they had, it would have been a different story today, and we would have been here praising Tudor. But the players they didn't show up.
I do agree with that. I do agree. And the Conceição performance, I mean, what like I don't know what to say about Conceição. I talked about Conceição so many times, and people hit the like button. Really appreciate that. I made my peace with the fact that we overpaid massively for Conceição. I don't think he's a very. I don't think he's a very good player. I think he's very inconsistent. He's very predictable. On his day, yes, but he has this one day every single 5 games or something. It's there's very and I agree. The cameo was. I don't know what the cameo was, to be honest. Like you said, there's nothing about it. Like there was not even the intention or the feeling that he was gonna, do something meaningful out there. So I don't understand that as well. Segrova is not fit, but to not get even 10 minutes or so, I found it strange. But like you said, nobody's firing up front. Not Vlahovic, not Openda, not Yildiz, not Conceição, not Jonathan David. So when people say, "Oh, he's a flop," so all players are flopping. Like, at what point are we gonna look at? You know what? Maybe they just have no clue what they need to do up there. Maybe they're completely out of sync, all of them, and it's not just a one-off. For example, So I don't know. I'm so confused with that one as well. But the subs are late every single week. Can we have a coach that forbids midfielders from giving the ball to the defenders for more than X times? Is that too ambitious? When the Locatelli thing, I cannot find the clip again. Or maybe I need to clip it myself. I remember in the second half against Como, Locatelli plays that ball to Koopmeiners. And Koopmeiners, instead of just opening up his body and going forward, he plays it straight back to, I'm pretty sure it was Kelly. And Locatelli was losing his mind. He was losing his mind, and he told Koopmeiners, just open up your body and play forward. I mean, it is a sickness in this team. But that also, in my opinion, comes from the fact that Tudor said, well, up front, they all have freedom. But I don't think that the other players know what, like, it's freedom. But when you have the ball in midfield, you should know, okay, I need to play it short. I need to give a go. Like, you need to have some mechanism, whatever. But I agree. It feels like we have none. We have none. There are clips out there for Kelly, also against Como, where Cambiaso, pulls away a couple of players, and you can play or you can drive that ball. And instead of doing that, he recycles that ball, he plays it back to the Giorgio, and we go again. Like, there's also the fear to actually play those passes. Besides the inability, there's also the fear, because at times there's a lot of space to play those passes, but we don't do that. We like to go sideways again and try to build up, from little passes rather than, taking chunks passes away. So it is a mindset, it is coaching, it is ability, etc. It's a mixture of all these things. And, the moment we can get over that hurdle, I think we'll play better. But right now, we're just stuck with that, and there's no way out of it. That's no way out of it. Do you see the Perina McKennie betting scandal? No? Did I miss something? Wasn't that old
Yeah.
news?
No, I think it's something new.
That came out today?
I think so, yeah. But I
know.
think I mistranslated something, because the fines are like 500 euros or something.
Oh, yeah, but it's old news that we talked about it like months ago already.
I don't know. I saw it today as if it's new, but probably not.
No, I saw something coming across, but that news has been out there for like months already. I don't want more to. I don't know what more to expect from Tudor. He should have been fired by now. Yeah, I mean, Chiellini made it clear that he's not on the hot seat, but I think he is on the hot seat. I think he's like not winning in 7 games. I'm sorry, like you're on the hot seat. Like, it's as simple as that. It could be 8 games. If you're not on the hot seat, then, well, what are we doing as a club? Like, what is actually the idea right here? So yeah, that's that. Final question before we wrap it up, or final topic. We do have Lazio on Sunday. What type of game, what type of performance do you expect us to have out there? Do you think we'll show some pride and actually go for the game? Because Lazio are a bit of a weird team. Against Atalanta, they got peppered. They kept a clean sheet and they got a point, but they never should get away with a point. They should have been hammered like heavily. It's a team that made zero signings. It's a team that Sari signed for, and a couple of weeks in that said, Lotito, I'm gone again. And then Lotito somehow convinced him. That's the team you're playing right now. So what do you expect? Do you expect do you expect a reaction? Do you expect something, significant?
Personally, I don't expect anything. I think we're going to have the ball a lot. And if Yield is or someone else with some individual brilliance doesn't step up, nothing will happen. And probably we play a draw or we lose. But I don't expect anything from this team anymore. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, but I don't expect anything.
You can go, Imran. You don't need to wait.
Yes, I think against Lazio, I expect like the same formation, the same style of play that we did against Madrid. I think we will give the ball to Lazio, and even Lazio, they will try to attack. They will try to have the ball in the Olimpico. So that's a thing that they will work on with Sarri. We know that Sarri is a coach that likes the ball, likes to have it. So I think Tudor will do the same approach. I think 3-5-2 with maybe this time with open Davlov instead of Yildiz. Because one thing about that transition play, like you are limiting Yildiz a lot. Yildiz needs to be close to the goal, but if you're asking him to every time you have the ball, he needs to make a run from the half of the line to the opposition box. That's too much for Yildiz. I think the way playing transitions will really stop Yildiz, and that's a big problem. But I think against Lazio, maybe we will see Openda starting with Vlahovic up front. So I think I expect the same style of play going at the back. Maybe Locatelli this time will get a chance from the start, and yeah, let's hope for a win because we really need it. And then another thing I want to speak about is Tudor. Like I think that today firing Tudor is the easiest thing you can do today as a manager. Just you can fire him, and that will be the easiest thing because do you have other coaches available today that can take Juve? And is Tudor the only problem of Juventus today? I think it's not. So it's not time to speak about Tudor leaving or staying because you are not solving the problem. You will just take out Tudor, bring in Palladino or Xavi, and believe me, after 7 months, we will be sitting here and speaking about the same problems again.
It's like this comment: at the long run, the problems will not stop if you don't have a great management team. Every good thing starts from the top, and that's a perfect way to end it because that's a reality. That's a constant factor, over the last couple of seasons that at the top it needs to change. But you cannot. We just changed again, so like, yeah, you just need to wait and see. I guess that's the only thing you can do right now. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up, people. Thanks for watching. The video live, rewatching it, like, subscribe as always. I'll be back live Sunday, probably midday. I will read out this one before we leave. Sunday, midday, for the preview, and then after the game as well. Then we will see if we actually did something against Lazio. Show the reaction, because I think that's what everyone wants. Sam is saying, thanks for the super chat, by the way. Let me read this one out. Here we go. Tudor simply a pop coach to get the best out of even these players. Tudor is simply a pop coach to get the best out of even these players. He can read games, he can instill respect or plan well. He looks like, or he should be a motivator to get a reaction out of his team, but everything he believes in is gone. The high pressing, the high intensity, the quick play vertical, that's all gone. He's doing it safe, There was a stat out there that he played almost 60% of the games without starting a new signing, etc. He's going with Vlahovic, not the new, like he's going for things he believes are basic and he can trust, but it's not working out. Instead of actually doing what he wants to do, basically believe in. And I'm not sure why. I have no idea why he stepped away from that, but he did step away from that. He did step away from that, and I have no idea why. I have no idea why. It's costing us, and it's gonna cost us the entire season. So I don't know, but this is not the Tudor. This is not the style of play Tudor wants to play. And yes, maybe we don't have the players, but did he have a better squad at Verona, Marseille, Lazio at the time? No. So it's very strange what he's doing. So is it the squad? Is it the players? I have no idea. But again, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. As I said, I will be live Sunday midday for a preview. I'm going to do it differently this week because I broke my wrist, so I cannot play football myself. So I have a lot of spare time on Sunday. So I'll do the preview live and then the match reaction after the game. And then we will see on Monday because I think on Wednesday we play Udinese as well. 6:30 kickoff, which is... I don't know. Maybe something to look forward to. It depends on the Lazio game. But again, people, thanks for watching and have a good evening. Ciao.